Hey, what's up everyone? Ryan here, and I'm back with another College Football 25 Kentucky Dynasty Mode Series video, and we are in week 11 of the 2026 season. We have a huge Southeastern Conference matchup today between the number 2 ranked Kentucky Wildcats, sitting 8-1 on the year and 5-1 in the conference, going into Mississippi State to face off against the unranked Bulldogs. But this Bulldogs environment is really tough to play in. So those of you that have never seen a game in Mississippi State, you will be hearing a cowbell almost this entire game, or really for the entire game. And that cowbell noise drives me nuts when I play this video game. So I always struggle when I play in Mississippi State, and a lot of that is due to the cowbell. So we just took down Arkansas in a close battle to the end. Before that, we took down Missouri. So we are on a 4-game win streak after losing to Alabama. So we're playing some high-level football. We have a tough stretch, though. So Arkansas last week in Arkansas. This week at Mississippi State. Next week, we go to LSU. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Then we close out in the Governor's Cup against our rivals, the Louisville Cardinals in Louisville. So some very tough matchups to close out this season, but we need to make sure we win every single one of the SEC matchups. Obviously, you never want to lose to the Louisville Cardinals, so we want to win them all. So we got to play focused football because we control our own destiny in the Southeastern Conference if we win out here in the SEC. So today, we'll be going through the top stories, taking a look at the updated top 25, and then, of course, taking a look at the college football playoff projections, and then taking a look at this matchup. So I will have timestamps for you all, just like always, in the video description. So feel free to go ahead and jump to the game if you want to go ahead and do that. And if you all get some enjoyment, drop a like. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more, and there is plenty of other sports game content you could tune into here on the Gamer Ability YouTube channel. And I do want to point out, so of course next week is Thanksgiving week. So content on the channel might be a little bit different. There may only be one Dynasty episode next week, and it'll likely be on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'll be able to get a Saturday episode out for you all like typical. It's Wednesday and Saturday for this series, but I'm not sure on the weekend video next week. Most likely on Wednesday, I'll try to get one for the weekend, but not sure if I'll be able to do that. But we will see. Look for it on Saturday morning. If it's not there by 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that means you will not see one till the next Wednesday. Okay, it's time to start with the top stories, and starting with the Minnesota Golden Gophers here. Not only did they have a big win against Purdue, look at their wide receiver. 7 catches, 165 yards, and 4 touchdown catches. That is an insane stat line for the wide receiver here for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And then Georgia did end up winning big against Florida, 36-17. So huge win. Florida moves from 18 to actually unranked now with that loss against Georgia. Now Georgia remains number 7. They did not move up any. Remember, they lost to Arkansas 2 weeks ago, and then after Arkansas won, they played us, of course, and we took Arkansas down. So Georgia and Kentucky right now would be the top 2 teams in the SEC if the season ended today. And then in another huge Southeastern Conference matchup, Alabama takes down number 9 Texas A&M. So huge win for Alabama. We know just how tough that Alabama team is. They're the only team who crushed us this year. That game was not even close. I mean, Alabama shocked us. And hey, we've been trying to recover after that, and we've been winning. So that's huge. But yeah, we got to find a way to take down this Alabama team just in case we meet in the college football playoff or possibly in the conference championship, depending on how things play out the rest of this year. Now, here's your quick overview of the top 25. The top 5 teams are North Carolina, who's still undefeated. Kentucky, of course, who's 8-1. Oregon, 7-2. Kansas State, 8-1. And Stanford, 9-0. Remember, the defensive coordinator for Kentucky, first 2 years of this dynasty, is now the head coach for Stanford. Andrew Parker, he's undefeated. And honestly, I think that he should be in that 4th ranking instead of number 5. They've had a tough schedule there at Stanford, and their head coach, Andrew Parker, has done a great job. And I would love to have a matchup against them. But let's take a closer look at what happened last week in the top 25. Okay, so here's a closer look at the top 25 college football playoff rankings here. So North Carolina stays number 1 after taking down Pittsburgh. Kentucky stays number 2 after a win against Arkansas. Oregon stays number 3 after a huge win against Northwestern. Kansas State is still number 4 after a win against Houston. Now Stanford crushed Utah State, remains undefeated, moving from the number 6 ranked team to number 5. Alabama moves up from number 8 after that win against Texas A&M. With a 7-2 record, they are sitting number 6. Georgia stays the number 7 ranked team after a big win against Florida. Tennessee actually moves down after having a bye week last week. They did not play, so they dropped from number 5 to number 8. Washington moves up to the number 9 spot, and that was after a bye week as well. That's interesting. And then Clemson moves up to number 10 after a win against Georgia Tech. You got East Carolina with the win against Tulsa in Tulsa, moving up from 14 to 11. Ohio State with a huge win against SEC, moving up to number 12. That SEC team has been struggling, or USC. USC has had multiple losses in a row. They're still in the top 25, barely, but a couple big losses in a row. And the Buckeyes, after a tough start to the year, are playing some great football. They are right there on the edge of the college football playoffs, looking in right now. So they need to win out, really. If they take one more loss as a 12 seed, unless they win the Big Ten Conference, they are not going to make the college football playoffs. They would be the first team out, most likely. Then Pittsburgh is number 13 now after a narrow loss to North Carolina. A hard-fought game there, but they lost by 3. Arizona moves from 23 to 14 after a win against Texas Tech. SMU moves up to 15, West Virginia up to 16, Texas A&M drops from number 9 to number 17 after the loss against Alabama. Notre Dame was unranked, and now they move into the 18 spot there. And then Charlotte moves from 25 to 19. What's important to think about here, if you watched the last episode, I was looking at the media top 25, not the college football top 25. So Notre Dame was ranked in the media poll last week, but not in the college football playoff top 25 rankings. I do want to point that out in case you all did not see that I'm in a different top 25. We're in the playoff rankings now instead of the media polls. Charlotte is 19. Michigan, they were unranked a week ago, and they have a big win against Iowa, moving into the 20th spot. UL Monroe dropped. They were in control of their own destiny, looking like they were going to make the college football playoff, and they lost to Arkansas State 17-14, dropping to number 21 with that loss. And then USC drops to number 22 with another loss. This one was against Ohio State. Boise State is 23 now. Baylor is 24. And then Minnesota Golden Gophers move into the top 25 in the college football playoff rankings. And here's your look at the 2026 college football playoff bracket if the season ended today. So the predicted conference winners with the first round bye would be North Carolina, Kansas State, Georgia winning over Kentucky. We'll see about that. And then Ohio State. So first round matchups would be Charlotte versus Kentucky, Tennessee versus Alabama, Clemson versus Oregon, and Washington versus Stanford. Now, if it plays out this way, that means there's a chance to play Stanford, but it would be a long shot because that would have to be in the national championship. You know, we looked at this last week and Stanford was in the upper bracket, which is what I was hoping for. I want to play against Andrew Parker, but it's looking like that might not happen unless both teams make it to the national championship. But keep in mind, a lot can change here. And of course, those conference winners, they still have to play in the conference championship. That's just the game predicting who's going to win the conference based on performance recently. And last but not least, a quick update on the recruiting class. So we do have the top recruiting class in the nation only ahead of Georgia by 11 points there, 253 to 242, but we have 12 5-stars locked in already. That is incredible. The best recruiting class I've had in this game. And then number 4, or 2 4-stars, but look at Georgia. We got all their 5-stars. They've locked in 24-star recruits. So if a lot of those are 4-star gems, they're going to be just fine. But you know Georgia hates Kentucky because we locked in Dan Honeycutt, who actually did not even have Georgia on his list. You know Georgia's still upset about that one. But wow, Dan Honeycutt, generational talent at wide receiver, deep threat wide receiver that has 99 speed, and he's 6'4" with platinum takeoff. He's going to be unguardable in press coverage, and that's not it. We also have Guerrero, 6'6" wide receiver with 50-50 ability, sure hands, and good speed and jumping. We have a dynamic duo at wide receiver. We also have a 5-star cornerback, Andres Robledo, with 99 speed. So yes, a lot of improvements coming to the secondary. Wish we could get them in this year, but we weren't able to do that, obviously. But they'll be here next year, and wow, does our secondary need them. But this recruiting class is incredible already so far, and we are not finished yet. So I know sometimes these intros get long later on in the season, but I do think the storylines are very important for this dynasty. You know, I think if I just dive straight into the games and don't talk about what's happened last week, don't talk about the updated top 25, the college football playoff projections, I feel like a big piece of a dynasty would be missing. So that is why I always put timestamps for you all, for those that want to skip to the game. But yeah, I think that's a very important part of a dynasty series. It's one of my favorite parts of this series because there's been so many upsets this year. And if I just skip to the game, you all miss out on all of that. So that is the reason these intros get a little bit long. But hope you all enjoy the format still of this dynasty series. I greatly appreciate you all for all the support on this one. But it is time for the big SEC matchup here in Week 11. You got the number 2 ranked Kentucky Wildcats sitting 8-1 on the year, going into Mississippi State to face off against the unranked Bulldogs, who are 3-6 on the year. But this is a place that I historically struggle at in this game. The cowbell drives me crazy, and it is such a tough environment for me to play in. Honestly, I feel like I've only beat them in Mississippi State one time. You take a look at these two teams by the numbers. 89 overall here for Kentucky. They're 82 across the board. They have home field advantage, but they have a very weak secondary. We should be able to throw all over this Mississippi State team. It shouldn't even be close. We should win by 21 points, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm not going to let the cowbell get me flustered. It always gives me a headache, the cowbell here. Listen, I blast the sound. I want to feel immersed into the environment, and wow, does it get me here at Mississippi State. So we're going to have Mississippi State wear the maroon pants, and we're going to wear exactly what we wore last game. We're going to go blue pants, the rest white, and it is time. Kentucky going into Mississippi State. Get your one-times ready. Let's win by 20 points. Come on.
Welcome to Starkville, Mississippi, Davis-Wade Stadium, where they've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. What a game and what potential drama we have in store. You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road and just hopes to be able to get out and tell about it. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Kentucky Wildcats, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys,
there's that cowbell.
Mississippi State ready to kick off to get this game started.
There it is. There it is.
He was hoping for
so if you're new to college football, you might be wondering, does it really sound like that? Yes.
Wildcats offense will get the first swing of the game. And as we look out on the field, here comes the man.
I'm going to do play action first play. Why not?
Yeah, and he's big time. That's why he's up for all these awards. He's known. Everybody knows exactly what he brings to the table. He can run it.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Okay. Well, that went well.
First play. Let's make a statement. This offense tries to come out and throw it. under the lights, all the excitement, and what do? They forget to protect their quarterback.
Almost took a safety there. I went back way too far. Good play, though. I may not talk very much. This is an environment I need full focus.
This offense, 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. From the gun, wants to pass.
Just trying to throw that away.
He was hit just as he released it, and it
I don't know why I rolled out there to the right. That's on me.
But already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this.
The old cowbell.
He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job.
It's an onside punt.
This guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
Not a good strategy.
Bulldogs offense will try to get something started with their first possession.
Our secondary has to get it together.
For this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Okay, cover 3 hard flat.
Lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job of it.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams.
Way to read the weakness. I read the run, right? Read the run, bit up hard, wide open receiver.
Games like this.
From the 30-yard line on 1st down.
Their quarterback is fast, too, so we have to watch out for the QB run. And what a sack from Matthew Horn. Come on.
Play action pass success has a
I might run a spy every play.
You could tell defense.
We're going to get less pass rush, but we have Matthew Horn.
They'll run it from the gun.
Way to make a play. Gates comes over from the secondary to make a big-time tackle there.
Not really huge, but if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm going to continue to find ways to feature him and just, you know what, let his talent do the rest.
Got his man downfield.
If I'm playing as Godfrey there, I'd probably intercept that.
Touchdown, Bulldogs!
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback
has that not been our defense the entire year? Our secondary, first drive, allowing a touchdown.
After that touchdown drive. And it'll come
oh, the cowbell. Hope you all are enjoying the sound here at Mississippi State.
Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out.
I know it's not ranked in the top 25 places to play, but in this game for me, it's up there with Georgia. I always lose here.
That last drive, they got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Brett, I had a feeling Brendan was going to drop that. I mean, it's a tough catch.
Well, the receiver getting a little ahead of himself on that one. You saw him calling for the ball. He thought he was wide open. He thought that was going to be an easy catch. The ball finally gets to him.
Give it to Sanders, the sophomore tight end. He's had a great year.
Call your shot. You've got to secure the catch.
I say we keep throwing. Their secondary is their biggest weakness. I don't think we're going to be able to run on them too much.
Yeah, how quick did he see that, too? Sees the blitz, understands this is a matchup where I got my big tight end, the big fella. I trust I'm going to find that matchup.
Maybe we do run.
For the first half.
Let's see which
Gotta make that throw, right? Like,
2nd and 10 from the 39.
I do love the inside zone here.
From the gun.
That's perfect. Look at Patterson go. We can run on him. Never mind.
3rd down and 3. Trying to pick up a 1st down. They'll try to power their way ahead.
Like in one-on-one coverage, I'm going to throw it up almost every single time because their secondary is the weakest part. I want to say their best secondary is 72 overall, and even worse secondary than ours, and that's saying a lot.
But boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just.
Brendan White, I was just too late. Too late. Needed a few more seconds for a touchdown.
Just as he
Let's run a screen.
1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. And the incompletion brings up a 2nd down.
That cowbell.
Coming after it.
You think that if somebody plays this game and they play in Mississippi State and they don't know, they'll probably think it's a glitch in the game, right? Until they see the cowbell close-ups, right?
And then you want to throw it right over their head, and you could tell just a little bit.
This could be a touchdown.
The defense got in there so quick.
That's a weakness. That's the weakness.
Shot here. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down.
Nice job in coverage there. Offense trying to take a shot downfield. The defender able to tip that one up in the air and force it incomplete.
I'm going for it. This is a frustration. Go for it. I know it could cost us, but
staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down.
Paid off. Gutsy call. When you have the best defense in the league, secondary-wise, you trust them, right? You trust your defense to make a stop if you don't get that. No, it's a great play. What a catch.
He'll just keep slinging it. The sweet feet buy a little time.
It's open. Tough throw on the run to make, but he can make it. He's made it all year.
Well, I love the effort by the quarterback here. He extends the play. Nothing open right away. There's a little bit of pressure. He gets to the outside, tries to take a shot down the field.
That's an option route, and Patterson chose the right one. That's an incredible route.
And they'll have enough for the first down. Kentucky trying to get a little
I'm feeling it. I'm going to keep throwing.
To the air on first down. Buying some time.
It's too risky. I know you all were real nervous on that one. You can be honest.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Moves around to clear up the vision.
That's the connection that's worked all year. Stephen Bullock, the freshman quarterback, to the sophomore Sanders. That's huge.
And the tight end, I tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like where
that's a big mismatch. That's just too much speed. You cannot guard Sanders across the middle. The middle linebacker can't cover that much ground man-to-man there. There's just no way. Sanders is too fast, and their linebacker is not.
When they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive.
14-play drive with the gutsy go-for-it call. But do you want to win or do you want to lose, you two?
He'll bring it out.
Beautiful.
I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes he just have to take a knee as he stops.
Let's change it up a bit. Let's show a cover 2 and run a cover 3 match instead of a cover 3 hard flat.
To answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure too on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tied.
Soles has killed us this entire year in pass coverage. Did you see that interception animation? Just barely. Maybe I mistimed it. Maybe that's what it was.
A lot to process and think about.
Look, maybe just mistimed, right? Maybe that was on me. That might not have been on Soles Jr. I was there to make a play, just didn't. So maybe that was just a mistimed catch.
The give on the counter.
Good play. Way to get up there, Gates. Gates make a big-time tackle there.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches.
I'm going to keep
right
running
now.
the
This
spy.
Defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
We are terrible at getting up there on the curl.
They reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48.
It's a good quick throw. Yeah, a good RPO, really. I don't run an RPO offense at all, but if I was good at it, it would be very useful. I'm just not.
On the left on 2nd and 1. The play action fake. Quarterback extends.
We had a spy.
He's going to take
Good try. Tried to stop him, but it's hard to gain that much ground.
We've played one, and we are right back where we started, all tied up after the first period as we take a look at the stats.
Looks like it's going to be another close game, just like every game this year, besides a couple of them. We've had a couple big wins, but Nebraska was one.
Here in the second. First down to start the drive after the break.
Then Alabama, yeah, they put the hurting on us.
Quick release by the QB.
Good tackle.
Take the profit, right?
With our defense, our secondary, holding them for a field goal would be a win.
Just spit it out to him, let him catch it, advance, and get what he can get.
They'll leave it with him.
Let's go. Come on. Okay, Tampa 2. I'm going to run it again and put a spy. Let's put Robinson.
Getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing him start to stiffen up.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards.
That's how you play it. I have to turn into him to do it. Now, keep in mind, Terrion Nichols has that interception ability, and it showed right there. But you just got to turn into him so quick to make a play. Come on.
Try to gain as much momentum as they could. Really nice interception on that play. Great job with the eyes by the defender there picking that off.
Our defense allows a lot of yards, but we've had big-time turnovers this entire year.
The ground game.
Look at Patterson go.
Stopped at the 43 after the 15-yard
Like, this is a game we should win by a couple touchdowns. It should not be close. I'm going to take Tremaine Stack out, put in a better lead blocker. Yeah, it should not be close, and we just have to say it like it is.
Open a drive like that, it opens a
I know it's in Mississippi State, a place I always struggle, but we are much better than them. And it shows right there. Look, I cut in to get him to bite in. He ran into the wide receiver, a great block downfield, incredible touchdown. That's what Patterson does. Come on.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make
you love how I finally say something like we should be crushing them, and we actually have a big play instead of a turnover, which is what usually happens.
Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
That's perfect. That Patterson dominated a week ago, and only 5 carries, but they were not expecting that run. I don't know why. We haven't ran a lot, though, to be fair. But
PAT gives them a 14-7
14-7.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
I want to win by 30.
This week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on.
That cowbell just makes me angry.
Alabama is trailing right now, but I'm not ready to say this team is out of it. Not after the way this group has rallied around that coach. It really has been something to see.
Come on.
It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to ULM. We'll circle back if anything big happens.
I missed the tackle. Well, so did everybody else, though.
On that one, Kevin, let us know when it goes final. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. He'll pull it on the
What a
read.
misdirection.
They can rely on this guy.
That was a great read by the running back. And quarterback, of course. I think it was a read option.
Pick up on the run. It's 2nd down. Hand off from the shotgun.
Yes, honestly, I was reading run the whole way. If that was a pass, we're in trouble. Because you all saw me full send. I might run a draw here, honestly, if I'm them.
Pre-snap motion,
nope.
Quarterback trying to get a read. Steps away. Going to try to get it himself.
That's a terrible quarterback spy. Robinson usually does a good job there, but, I mean, that's terrible pursuit.
Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the first down.
You got to get up there. Let's put Matthew Horn in the spy. I think Robinson is just wore out.
Anytime I can hit the quarterback, that is a win.
With jet sweep pass.
That's holding, yeah.
Inside the 15.
Come on. I believe they finally called a holding on the other team. Usually it's always on us, at least this year. That might be the first holding I've seen on the AI.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10
I'm
more
not complaining.
yards to cover.
Let's be Godfrey.
State has this drive hitting on all cylinders.
I mean, he read me like a book. An RPO read to perfection, really. Just outplayed me.
On 2nd down, will they go back to the ground game?
Only got 1 yard, right?
They'll ride Davis.
Yes.
A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
I think we have to go cover 3 match with the QB spy. This time we're going to put Horn.
But down the road, 3rd, 4th quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
Somebody has to get over there. I understand it's a weakness of cover 3 there instead of a cover 3 hard flat, but, like, that's just poor execution.
The Bulldogs come to the line with a fresh set of
Like, we may have turnovers that we get on defense, but we allow almost every pass to be complete.
Some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way?
How about let's run man now?
3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his protection.
2nd down here.
Could be a
and
screen.
Maybe they've got time to get 1 more snap off before
Nope.
the 2-minute warning. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
Good play call, honestly.
2-minute warning, and we have ourselves a ball game, and they have a chance to take the lead here before the half.
Watch for the QB run.
They'll go to the air. Looking for the score. Give him 6.
Their quarterback is picking us apart right now. What, like every team can do against us, but I mean, I read that wrong.
An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue.
Good play call. I mean, they had two people in our zone. We can't guard them both. And yeah, I should have dove up on them.
The extra point was good. It's even Steven here in the second quarter.
If I read that quick, that is a touchdown the other way. I just did not read it fast enough. Come on, Brandon.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17.
We got ourselves a ball game.
Kentucky has it back in the big blue offense.
Welcome to Mississippi State.
Defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring.
That's perfection.
Oh, he gets downfield for the big
That's what
catch.
Stephen Bullock could do. He could pick a defense apart with
After
quick
the big
throws
play
like
to
that.
start, now they are on the move at their own
And
45.
Sanders as well.
Trying to find his man on first down.
Speaking of Sanders,
He hurls one deep down the left
taking
side.
advantage of their weakness, their entire secondary, just like us.
Precision execution on that big play. And that big gainer on the
Sanders
last
is
one
just
has
too
been
good.
Threatening from inside the 10. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Nobody open. He just throws it away.
I was hoping somebody would have ran to the other side, but they didn't.
His performance, man. The QB last week, you could tell, dude. He was in rhythm. He was good timing. You could tell the chemistry with receivers were good. And today, everything just looks off, and it looks hard.
Nobody
It looks
open. It's a
difficult.
good thing that was
To get back in the rhythm they were in
incompletion.
last week.
Because if that went on target, it was a touchdown the opposite way.
Fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It's
We're fortunate it
still
wasn't a
3rd and goal.
touchdown to the other team.
The aerial assault continues. Fires into traffic, picked off. Bust through behind his pad.
We're going to watch that back so you all can see just how good a coverage this was. You talk about perfection. We had Patterson, who's ran this route beautifully, always. And this is just an incredible read. The middle linebacker reads it. Watch. He's already reading that Patterson's going to cut in. He steps underneath before the route. When I see Patterson about to cut, I'm like, that's wide open right here. Instead, the middle linebacker cuts in. That's an easy touchdown. Not touchdown. It's an easy interception. Almost for a touchdown. Nobody else was open. I mean, you can see the coverage was phenomenal across the board. But, like, that's just an incredible read. What?
Kicking in the nifty moves on a terrific
Okay,
return.
defense. Wake up.
Coming into this game,
I'm gonna run man.
Knew that points were going to be at a premium. If you can't
Just
score
one
touchdowns
time,
down
see what
here in the red
happens.
zone, you at least got to come away with field goals, but you can't do that if you're throwing interceptions. That's just poor execution by the offense.
Well, it's not much better.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. That's
Come
the
on,
way to
defense. I
start a
believe in
drive,
you
and
all.
now they'll try
I
to
believe in
pop
you all.
off
We
on
have so
first
much
and
talent.
10.
Make a play. You gotta
He's
believe.
looking to throw it. Good timing on the quick out. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
Gotta believe.
Offense
Come on.
gets set for second down. He's looking to throw. Now adjusting. And he
Good
gets
job.
it just
Quarterback
beyond the line of
quarterback spy
scrimmage
got
before
him
he
to
gets
stop
down.
there. Now,
Offense calls
question
a timeout
is,
here, critically important to make
I think we
sure
run
they
two
have the
quarterback
right
spies.
play call and everyone on the same page here.
wait,
They turn to the
or
passing game
infinite
on
number.
3rd and
That's
short.
on me.
Quarterback adapted.
It
He'll
worked.
pull it down and run. They bring him down, but not before he gets just enough to move the chain. They'll rush to the line.
You
Clock
can't make
stopped
this
for
stuff
the
up.
first down. They'll set the chains.
How
and
do
wind
we
the
have two
clock.
quarterback spies both get beat?
He's gonna pass. Fires to the wideout.
Good tackle.
And that incomplete
I'm
pass
shocked.
caused by the big hit on first
I'm shocked.
down, second down coming. 4 wideouts set, 3 of them to the left on 2nd and 10.
I was the wrong player there, so we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback.
He's
So you can
looking
blame
to
me
throw.
for part of that.
Gets
But
it out fast. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically
how the
important to
quarterback
make
still
sure
is able to
they
run
have
on
the
2
right
QB
play
spies
call
and
everyone on the same page here.
yeah.
On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air.
Do it. I dare you. I dare you. Smart.
Couldn't find a man and just had to throw
Smart,
it away
and
to
they can
avoid
make
a negative
this.
Play. Now on 4th down, they'll
Let's ice the
settle for a
kicker.
field goal try.
Let's ice the
Timeout
kicker.
called
Call
by the
timeout.
defense.
Get
It's
them
their
thinking
first
about
and a
it.
half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments.
I've had it work
They'll
on this
try to
game a
get
few
something
times.
out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down.
And there would be your time. Ice the
Oh, he
kicker.
missed it.
Come
No
on.
good. And after the missed field goal, guys,
And we got time.
Locked up.
Do we have? Where's the play? There it is. 9-8-6 switch.
Time dwindling away.
Brandon White might be open for a touchdown if they misread this.
They'll throw it on first down. Looking deep down the right side. And it's
Underthrown. I mean, it was a touchdown.
Incomplete.
It should have been a touchdown. It was just underthrown.
If he could have squeezed it. Just enough time for one final play of the half.
I mean, we got to keep in mind, this is all luck if we score here. That's a touchdown.
Going back to the well, another deep ball.
That was the worst play call ever.
Close.
Their cornerback was not, he was playing like a forward zone. I think it was like a cover 6 with a messed up coverage. I think that was a cover 6.
The long field all the way across the field. Big time play, big time throw. Receiver runs underneath it, takes it to.
What did I tell you all? There is only one secondary worse than ours. It's Mississippi State. There is one secondary worse than ours, and that would be Mississippi State. What happened? They're pressing on Brandon White, which is interesting. It's just a mismatch. Is Wilkins hurt? I'm convinced that he wasn't supposed to guard that zone. I think what happened, they were in a cover 6. I think they were in a cover 6 here. And all the deep 3 are back here. 1, 2, 3. I think this player right here, it's not match zone probably. It's probably just regular zone. Wilkins is supposed to guard this upper third of the field. He's not supposed to go deep. So I think he did what he was supposed to. We caught him in a terrible play call there. And I don't think you can blame, no, you can't blame Wilkins. There's no way he was trying to guard a deep route. He didn't even follow us. He's guarding the third. That is just bizarre. Big mistake there for Mississippi State, and we made them pay all right. I'm going to take a screenshot here so we remember this moment. What a game so far, and that's a big momentum shifter. Good screenshot moment right here, but I'm shocked. I mean, that play is a great play. I love that play call. It's one of my favorite plays in this game, the 9-8-6 switch. And especially when you have 98 speed, Brandon White, right? But when you catch him in a cover 6 there in that play, it can beat a cover 6 almost every single time. Especially when their best defensive back is 72 overall. Let's go.
So far today in Starkville. Each of these two offenses has looked like well-oiled machines, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out these two passing attacks have run circles around these defenses. Man or zone, nothing seems to be working, and I'm not sure that defensive coordinator is going to be able to figure things out here at halftime. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas at Davis-Wade Stadium.
I mean, our defense has to step it up. Simple as that. Offense is making some big-time plays. We're running the ball well. We're throwing the ball well. Defense has to make some plays. We should win by 20. I mean, I'm sticking to that. We can beat this team. I'm not afraid of the cowbell. Do I have a headache? Yes, you better believe it. I always do when I play here.
Kentucky will boot it deep to get the second half underway.
I want to feel the elements. Like, I could turn down the sound. I know that, but I want to be there. I want to feel what it would feel like to be in this environment.
For some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18.
As crazy as that sounds.
State offense headed back to the field to go to work. They start this third quarter one-possession game and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and
smart
see if
play.
they can get something established.
I was hoping he was going to throw it to my guy. It would have been a pick.
In the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Stephen Bullock has a lot of incompletions, but a lot of yards. Let's go, Robinson. Come on. Stay in a cover 3. I don't think they can stop it.
Right back to the line.
Actually, they've thrown all over us, to be fair. I don't think they can stop or cover 3. Yeah.
On third and long, he has
about
to throw
that.
for it.
We got 99 jumping, though. Not even my zone. Just read it to perfection. You cannot throw on Godfrey, even when he's behind. That's 99 jumping, great catching, and I was trying to bait him into that.
It's not speed, it's not strength, it's literally.
I read that perfect. That's not my zone. I just saw him and know I had to get over there because he's wide open. That is incredible. Okay. Do you want to win or do you want to lose, YouTube? Simple question.
David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was
Since this play is here, let's go ahead and favorite it. There we go. That way we can find it when we need it. Because I'm always asking, oh, what's that play called again?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
Yeah, their defensive line is not great. Their secondary is not good, and it shows.
The really big play. Going up top on first down.
Way to stay in bounds, Dugans.
Gets it inside the 5, down to the
Come on.
4, and it'll be first and goal.
That's what we couldn't do last year.
Cashing it in
Brock Vandegrift led us to 2 national championships, and we will be forever thankful for Brock Vandegrift, but Brock could not do that last year.
Keeping it on the ground on first and goal.
So a big change at quarterback this year, and it's been a good change.
Still at the 4.
We have to give Brock credit. He threw a lot of interceptions last year, but he when it came down to it, he made big plays.
He's looking to throw.
Running back's wide open. Too late.
Caught up 2 and sacked at the 12.
It's too late.
Perfect execution by this defense. They played pass, sat back, looked at the quarterback, took
Please be in,
everything
man.
away, and even better, good pass rush, finishes it. Now put him in a predictable 3rd and long situation.
It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone.
Sanders had him.
there.
Sanders had him beat. The throw was perfect.
3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
They'll try to cap off this
Can't really
drive
complain
with a field
taking
goal.
points,
Drives
but
in between the uprights.
Sanders was there to make that play, and I tried to turn into him to make a play, just
And
couldn't.
let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend.
Look at East Carolina.
North Texas has been blitzed from the opening kick, and as you can see, the score right now is a lot to a little. Let's see
Keep
how
running to
this
cover
coach
3.
tries to explain this. They're trailing by 24 to
Cover 3
East
match.
Carolina. We'll
Oh, no.
circle back if anything big happens.
That's on
you
me.
should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
Run at Tampa 2. We've been showing it 2 the whole game. Haven't ran it once. This might throw him off.
From the shotgun, they'll
Good
run it.
play. Look at
He's
that.
knocked down in the
Kyle
backfield.
Kendricks
He'll
from
lose a
Lexington,
couple.
Kentucky.
Well, the most
Come on.
insightful analysis I can come up with on that one is
Should we run a cover
that
6,
didn't
make the
work.
same mistake they
Back
did?
to the drawing
Let's do
board
it
to
once.
see if there's something that works a little better soon.
Or if I can quote the great Reese Davis, that was very
Beautiful.
Not a productive 1st down play.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll
Yeah,
be a
I mean,
loss
here
of
we just
3.
run a cover 4,
How about
right?
the defensive end understanding football, understanding that I got to keep outside contain. I'm responsible for the quarterback. Good job playing his responsibility. And how about getting that sucker on the ground? He's a pretty good athlete to be able to corral him, tackle him right in the middle of the field, and get him to the ground.
Yeah, no way. Let's go.
protect
Our
the
defense is
merchandise.
stepping it up.
Down
This
without
is what
taking a
should
hit.
happen, right?
Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit.
What a second half so far.
His
Come on,
first one of
Kentucky.
the day gave that
This is
leg a
what we
workout
do.
5 times in last week's
The
victory.
interception,
And
right?
good
Like,
work by the coverage team to knock down
we
the
know how to
return
play
man.
football. We just got to do it.
Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
Wasn't
I think
open
it's
at
great
all.
to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red
Let's
area.
keep throwing.
You
I mean,
gotta
they
get out there this
cannot
time
guard
and
us.
execute a
Oh, this is a
little better
touchdown
on
to
this
Brennan White. We
You're
can't
absolutely
audible.
right, David. And generally,
try it again.
The best red zone
Yes, we
offenses
can.
are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. And
Yes,
he's got it.
he's
That's
too
the
good.
15-yard line.
He's got
And
way
they
too
were
much
looking for a
acceleration
chunk
and speed
play,
to ever
and
guard
they
him.
got it.
That's
The
a perfect throw,
explosive
though.
Picks up more than 30.
I love when you back the
That's just
defense off.
perfection.
If you want to get aggressive, I'll take shots down the field, make the defense play more conservative, and now what? Now you're in the red zone with a chance to get some points.
He
Good
was
play.
able to squirt free and pick up a few and
gonna
avoid
run
a
it.
negative play there.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have
Not
to
great
account
blocking
for
where our
every
hole was
single
supposed to
play.
be, but good read.
Not a lot of
The
ground to
close-ups
cover
to
and
the
not
cowbell.
much
If
to
you
defend.
don't
A
have a
big
headache,
third
you
down
definitely
in the
have
red
one after
zone.
that.
From the gun, wants to pass. Getting some heat. Just gets rid of it before the heat. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch.
Some of you might say, well, Ryan, who'd you throw that to? Don't worry about it.
College football today, you see so much more.
Clearly not to where I wanted.
The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range.
We got lucky is what we got.
Got
lucky it wasn't a pick six.
And now the lead is extended a little further.
It's a great thing Stephen Bullock took a big-time hit there. That would have been an easy interception.
We'll try to shut them down.
Not just an interception. It would have been an interception taken the other way.
Big return out of the end zone and came up a little short. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. They just didn't quite.
They're doing a good job with their red zone defense.
Jesse, they had to punt it.
I think they gotta be
Our
more
defense is
physical.
just ready, right?
They gotta
Our
do a
defense is
better
playing
job
right now.
Getting blocks and establishing this running
We're
game.
running this cover 3 spy to perfection. We're only sending 3 too.
If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Okay,
Short throw is complete, and
You
he'll
have to
grab
get
it,
over
step
there.
out of bounds and pick up the first down.
maybe I should play cornerback. Said nobody ever.
Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up.
Look at Stanford. Andrew Parker, defensive coordinator, first 2 years for Kentucky. Leading Stanford to an incredible year.
To make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter.
Let's mix it up a little
They'll
bit.
start the
Still
drive
cover
here
3,
with
but
first down
changing
to
up
open
who's
this
doing what.
period. Wide out in motion. Handoff from the gun.
Good tackle.
Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
Cover
It's
3.
just so nice to know you can
Now, I'm
start
not
off
doing a
on
match
first
this
down.
time. I'm doing a
Positive
straight up
plays.
cover 3.
Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
Match is definitely my favorite coverage.
He'll keep it himself.
Matthew, what were you doing on that one?
Able to pick
Matthew
his way
said, well,
forward for a
Ryan, you told me to
decent
spy the
game before
quarterback.
defense gets
Well,
it down.
exactly.
How easy
The
was that?
quarterback's the one who had
You
the
got a
football.
quarterback that can run design runs like this and
So
get
if you
you
were spying
5+
him
yards, just
correctly,
make it look that easy.
no way that should have worked.
God, it makes it really hard for the defenses to stop.
This defense will try to force a 4th down on 3rd and short from the 45. They'll try to run for it.
I mean, I was reading that the entire way. There's no way I was playing the pass there. I did a full send read to the running back.
Yeah, and this offense has to
They gotta
find a
go
way
for
to
it.
run the football. They got to
Cover
get
3
more
hard flat.
creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to
Come on,
jumpstart
QB
them,
spy.
because
Get the
nothing
job
really
done.
going
I'm
on the
watching
ground.
for the inside route from
defensively,
number
though,
20
you gotta
here.
give them credit too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But
What a tackle.
defense,
You
they've
know,
risen to the occasion.
great play by
Their
the
front
safety,
7
but
has
it's one of those that
dominated
I
this
should have
entire
picked off.
game.
I stopped running with him, and I should have kept going. I knew he was going to throw it there. We're lucky our safety came in, made a big-time hit. Should have picked that off, though.
You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
I'm just so glad it's not a close game right now. Remember I said that.
He's looking to throw. Quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop, but this passing game does some
You know, just
damage,
having
and they
fun
move the
today. Just
sticks
trying
with
not
the
to
first
overthink
down.
it. Trying to not
Here's
let the cowbell
offense
get
with
to
the
my
first
head.
set of downs. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. And he was hit just as
It
he
looked
was
like
releasing
Steven
the
was
pass,
trying to
and
throw
it
that to
falls
the
ground
defensive
incomplete.
lineman there. Did you see that?
Let's see what they've got on
Steven, what are you
2nd down.
doing?
He's looking to throw. They're bringing heat. Chucked it away just as he was hit.
Again.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
What do y'all think of the cowbell? Are you loving it?
Work to do if they want to convert this one. Skips away from pressure. He fires it out to
That's
the
what
right.
Sanders
It
does.
slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge
We
gain
can't
if
close
he
out the
held
game.
on.
We've had so many chances. Another field goal. I trust one-on-one against their secondary every
Everybody on the
day.
back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
It's good. And now the lead is even
It's a
bigger.
good thing he's got the perk that allows you to go into the red zone without a big penalty. That's why we have him as the starting kicker. You know, I am proud of my field goal kicking today, so that's a plus.
But he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25.
This adds, if we win this, it's not over yet, it adds to my list a few times that I've taken down,
Going for it in their own end.
taken down
Put them in a tough spot, David.
Mississippi State.
Aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession, they
Good
went
read
for
by
it,
the
they rolled
QB.
dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Let's put Egg Bowl in as the spy.
Quarterback wants to throw on
It's the wrong
second
player.
down. Incomplete.
That's great
He's
coverage.
lucky to get
A
that with
dangerous
that
throw.
defense That close to an interception. Big third down.
Yeah,
coming
Egg Bowl,
from
I
their own
believe, might be the
31.
fastest
Defense
player on
tries to
offensive
get off the
lineman.
field.
I mean, our defensive line. It might be the biggest.
From the gun, wants to pass. Able to work it to the 39-yard line. And
That is brave for the quarterback to go to the same spot that he almost just threw an interception to, right? I think Robinson is the fastest.
You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
Just a savvy, veteran,
I tried to strip it.
productive run from this junior. And the Bulldogs in the hurry up.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea, because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield.
We cut out his route. He wanted to hit the tight end coming back across the middle.
As you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
They'll line up for a second down
Okay.
play.
Make a play, Godfrey. Come on. They have field general. That's why it keeps popping up what coverage we're in.
Using his
The
legs
safeties.
to buy some time. And tackled there by the defense. Quick tempo here for the offense.
I mean, their quarterback at this point is just looking to run it.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he's looking to do. And we have a
he
QB
gets
spy on
home.
him.
They knock him down back at the 45.
Now let's do it again.
Down
Let's
by
put
multiple
somebody new on the
possessions.
spy now.
They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield.
Yes, Egg Bowl put the hit on him.
Not get it.
That's
A
game.
fourth down stop for this defense as
Who
they
won?
try to
Who
soak
won this game for us?
away.
Our defense, believe it or
Kentucky
not.
sends the
Well,
offense
our
back
offense
out
too.
onto
We
the
scored
field.
30 points. So both,
Jesse, they had
actually.
to kick a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah,
I'm just
oftentimes
glad
early
this
in
is
games,
not
you're just
another
trying
time
to
I'm
find
losing to
your
Mississippi
rhythm.
State.
Some things work, some don't on that first drive, David. It'd be interesting to see what happens here in the
It's
second
not over
drive.
yet.
Yeah, you got a feel for the defense now. You understand what they're trying to do, what their game plan is. Now you get to go into phase 2 of your game plan.
55? What are you doing?
And a good solid pickup
was
there
that?
before the defense knocks him down.
Anybody feeling the touchdown?
Toss play, right?
Since they're putting that cowbell right in our ears,
It's got to be thrown out in front of him.
I'm
so
throwing
he can
another
continue
long
to
bomb.
run. And then that offensive line has to
Oh,
do a
no,
really
it won't
good
be
job
open.
of getting the edge.
Shouldn't be.
So we can get north and south. Used to see that play a ton back in the day. Just don't.
And the quarterback was
Yeah,
trying
it
to
wasn't
extend
open.
the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
that would have been a good way to get them back to the game if we fumble there.
Get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Gets it away, solid distance, but more
That's a
importantly,
great
trying
punt.
to keep it away from that return man.
Okay, just do what you've done all second half,
offense set for a
right?
first
The
down
first half, I feel
play.
like I'm losing my voice, but first half was
Looking to
not
move
the
it through
greatest.
the air. He's going up top here late in the game. And this
Almost
is
picked it.
dropped. Incomplete pass.
Honestly, he was
had a
open.
huge
It's just
gain in his
tough for
fingers
the
and he
quarterback to
couldn't
throw it
hold on.
that far.
2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Unloads it left. It's complete.
You know, he's not Stephen
A quick
Bullock
tackle
out there,
made.
right?
He's got plenty for the first down. Everybody has
What a
to
year
be
it's been
set.
for the
They have to
freshman.
get
He's
it
thrown a
off.
lot of interceptions, don't get me wrong, but he's been playing a great football recently.
Looking to go up top on first down. Not much
Smart.
of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. 4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10.
Backups are in, I think.
Back to the air one more time. Pocket starts to
It's that
collapse.
Egg Bowl again.
They immediately
Come
call
on.
timeout,
That's
trying to
200
preserve
pounds,
every
296
second they can
pounds
to try to
with the
rally
hit
here
stick.
late.
Imagine
Pocket
taking that
broke
shot.
down and the quarterback had to take the sack.
Really impressed by this pass rush, Reese. Just guys winning their individual battles one-on-one up front. They're able to get to the
That's just right
And
to
he
him.
throws another interception. His 3rd
Let's just nil it.
And
That's game.
on him after a good return.
Let's just
on
nil
the
it.
interception. Offense
On
set on first
UFK.
down.
Take that, Mississippi
And they're
State.
just about out
Let's
of
go.
chances.
Come
The
on.
defense can stop it
Perfect
one
game,
more
honestly.
time as the quarterback takes a knee.
Perfect game.
All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things that are going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
What a game. Honestly, I think that was the best this team has played offensively and defensively this year, especially in the second half for the defense. Offense was on the entire game. A passing game, we took advantage of a very weak secondary. We took advantage of their weak defensive line. Running, honestly, we should have ran the ball probably a little bit more because Patterson dominated. But what a game. That is what I wanted. You know, they beat me so many times in this game. So what I decided to do was be completely focused. Be completely focused, play smart football, don't turn it over, and take down the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Those cowbells are silent now. Do you hear them? I hear nothing. That's right. The cowbells are done, and we won't have to play them again in Mississippi State. Maybe this series might be over by the time we have to play them again away. It's a beautiful thing. Now, yeah, they did whatever they wanted to throwing. I mean, they threw really well. Now, to be fair, though, they did whatever they wanted to throwing first half. Second half, we started playing great football. And the changing point was that first interception, right? And then all the interceptions after that. That was just perfection. We did throw one. Did we throw? Did I just throw that out of my memory? When did we throw an interception? I don't remember that. That's a short memory, right? You want to have a short memory as a quarterback. Do you all remember an interception? Clearly, I didn't play fully smart football. I don't remember that interception at all. Now, they had time of possession, right? They won time of possession, but who won the game? Big time. A big time win. Their quarterback really struggled. Stephen Bullock, only 11 for 28. That's a 39% completion rating, but 2 touchdowns, and I don't know where that interception came from. But 283 yards is really good. Patterson dominated. 9 yards per carry, 123 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving, Sanders, yeah, amazing. Brandon White, 2 for 124 and a touchdown. Yes, that was the big weakness. We had to take advantage of their big weakness. That was, of course, their secondary, and we took advantage of it. Brandon White twice, and that's all we needed to do. That is a big-time game for this Kentucky Wildcats team. I really don't remember that interception whatsoever. But yeah, I'm going to pause the video, take a couple screenshots, and take a look at the road ahead. What a win. You know, a road win in the SEC just feels so good, and it's a game we should win. You know, most teams have beaten that Mississippi State team this year, so they've had a rough year, and we can't lose that game. And I went in with that no losing mentality, and we dominated, especially offensively and defensively in the second half. Just an incredible ball game, right? So it's time for the recruiting here for week 11. Let's see how we gained after last week, and hopefully get some big time recruits here. So you got Jose Poe, the 5-star gem we have, and then of course we always have to point out Dan Honeycutt, superstar generational talent receiver, combined with our quarterback, who's a 5-star gem. Should be unstoppable. 99 speed, platinum takeoff, and shifty ability as well. And then don't forget Guerrero here from Miami Gardens, Florida. 6'6", 97 jumping, 94 speed, only 89 acceleration, but he has 50-50 and sure hands. He's going to dominate. But let's go ahead and take a look. Do we have any new recruits? I do not think we got any. We did not. We didn't lose any. So let's just update real quick. This won't be very long this week because we're already hard selling on most of these. So we're leading the way and we're already hard selling. And then Sharif Farrell, middle linebacker. We are leading the way and we are already hard selling. Perfect. And then Ben Lovelace, a center 4-star gem. We are hard selling and a perfect hard sell and we're winning. Jesse Lewis, are we hard selling? We are not yet, but we can now. So we are going to hard sell. You know, it helps when you are on a big win streak, right? The team's playing great. We only lost to Alabama, and now that was not a close game. Alabama blew us out. I mean, it was a wake-up call for this Kentucky team, and we knew it was going to be a tough challenge, right? But Alabama, it was not even close. And then Shane Steinkühler, 4-star Jim, right outside linebacker, and we do have the hard sell. And it's good. It's not great, but it definitely is enough to do a hard sell. B+, B+, and A+. So we're going to lock in that hard sell. Athletic facilities, coach prestige, and proximity to home. That's going to be coach's favorite. And going to make sure we max out hours, because I understand we have excess hours, but if you all are like me and you get way too many recruits, just stick your class to about 23, 24, maybe even 20. Some might say my class is too big right now. Yeah, this is perfect. We have the hard sell. I know we don't know those last interests, but they have to be athletic facilities and brand exposure. So it's actually a great hard sell too. A+, A, and a B+, and we can put 10 more hours here. And he's probably going to make up his mind there. And keep in mind, these are 2 quarterbacks, J.D. Jackson, an athletic scrambler with 92 speed, and then Josh Marshall, 89 speed. 2 quarterbacks that are 4-star gems. We could get lucky. I understand they're not going to play for a long time, but the good news is none of them have playtime as their deal breaker. So they will stay. They will stay 100%. The odds of losing them is very low, which is awesome. Okay, so we're good here. Let's take a look at Josh Marshall. And I know they're going to take up some quarterback spots on the roster, but I'm not too worried about that, honestly. We can't really hard sell yet, but we don't really need to. Then Chris Stacy is the agile offensive lineman, and we are winning big time, and we don't have the hard sell yet. And then Carr, a right guard pass protector who we just started recruiting. We're not even close to having the hard sell, but I do not believe that Nebraska is going to win this one. I really don't think so. I mean, you never know. We crushed Nebraska early this year, so maybe Carr will put that into the bucket when he makes his decision. You know, he puts everything in the bucket to weigh in. Who is he going to go to? In that bucket, going to have #1 Kentucky Wildcats, back-to-back national champions, and #3, we crushed Nebraska. And then Nebraska, what are they going to have in their side? What are they going to have in their bucket? Well, not much. You know, not much, honestly. So, you know, I don't want to speak too soon. We're about to lose them, aren't we? I did it again. But let's go ahead and advance the week. I know we're leaving hours out there, but we don't need to use them. If I start recruiting, we're going to end up with way too many recruits. I have to stop myself. I do. We have the best recruiting class ever this year. And look at this, Jamie Rico. This is the 4-star gem blocking tight end, who's very useful in our Power O. And then Sharif Farrell, the middle linebacker, 4-star gem as well. J.D. Jackson, the athletic scrambling quarterback, 4-star gem. The other quarterback in the same week. 2 athletic scrambling quarterbacks, 4-star gems. You love to see it. What a recruiting week. This recruiting class is unstoppable. It helps when you have an offensive coordinator that has so many elite recruiting abilities, right? Same thing with Ryan Gamer. We have recruiting. We don't have elite recruiting. We'll have it next year, though. So I'm saving up all my coaching points for next year. There's a reason I'm saving those, because I want elite recruiter. And now we go in to LSU, an environment that's one of the toughest places for me to play in this game. You know, Mississippi State, it's funny enough, I lose more at Mississippi State than I do at LSU, interesting enough. This is an LSU team who's really good. Look at the overall. I understand they're 5-5, but in the SEC that happens. I mean, they're 1-5 in the SEC. Welcome to the Southeastern Conference, where you could be 89 overall and just barely lose every week, and you're 5-5 looking outside of the college football playoffs and trying to get a bowl game with one more win. That's what LSU's trying to do with probably their final home game. But big thank you to you all for watching this video to the end. If you got some enjoyment, drop a like. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more, and you can check the full playlist in the description. That's the best place to check up on other episodes you might have missed. If you're jumping in here to Season 3, Season 2 and Season 1 were both awesome, so check them out. I have a Road to Glory series and plenty more sports game content on the Gamerability YouTube channel. I will see you in the Week 12 matchup in LSU. As always, have a fantastic day, everybody.